Oh, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggly. And today we're playing a little bit of a Lost One. We're going to try to play a little bit of Lost Ones because it seems like it's not necessarily something you can win. So we'll find that out. I seem to be a glutton for this punishment now of getting games played that don't have a definitive ending or survival-esque. You may be asking, why am I playing a game from 2021 that most people have never heard of? Well, because of Extra Life. So this is one of the games I have up on our Culling for Charity. Yes, I was calling it before I played it, knowing that I was going to play it because it is a story-driven game. So once and if you make it all the way through the story, there are a couple different endings, but I don't think I would play it again to get the other endings just from what I've seen. So I figured somebody else might enjoy it. But with that said, let's go ahead and flip over and I'll give a brief rundown of how this plays. So here we are. We are kind of zoomed in right now. If this map gets too big, I'll see what I need to do to adapt, or I may need to zoom out. But basically, in Lost Ones, we are some kids who have gotten lost in a dream. Or is it a nightmare? Do not know. We have an objective to get out of here. So we are starting with 3 characters. I'm going to play three-handed. I've heard that's a better way to play solo from Alex Radcliffe's review on Board Game Pro. So that's where I'm going to do it. Also shows it more of a co-op because you get more options when you do it this way. So the way the game works is as we're going through, you'll see on this card there are numbers. There's an 8, a 2, and a 4. And as we go to a different card, then there's going to be story elements. So for example, here we're on card number 1. And so we'll read the information in the storybook for card number 1. It will then give us, and of course this isn't spoilers because we're about to do this, it will then give us options that we can try to complete. The way that we complete these is by discarding the particular symbols. So on our cards, each of my characters have 5 cards. There are different symbols. And prepared for anything, for example, it counts as every symbol. So if you're alone, only your cards count. If you are together, then of course everybody can work together to accomplish the end goal. While we're going through, good things might happen, bad things might happen. So there may be cards, I just randomly flipped to one, that have symbols. These symbols are then going to cause something to happen. I'm going to have to go to the book to figure out what it is because there's no clarity, unfortunately. We then need to overcome those. They could be enemies coming out from the foe deck. It could be banes being attached to us, which are basically negative things. Or we could also get a bonus with a boon, which is basically like an ongoing ability or a one-time use ability that exhausts. We don't get to draw cards. The only time you get to draw cards is when something tells you to draw a card, or if you get the capability to arrest. When you do arrest, then you get to draw back up into your hand. The game is over based on multiple criteria. One is if we run out of cards. So let us go to the in-game conditions. So the first way we can lose the game if a player, so if a single player runs out of ability cards in their hand, if the characters are caught by Nightmare, so Nightmare is this little guy here, he will pop out at some point and be chasing us around. If a character enters a battle with a foe and cannot defeat it, which is where I've heard a lot of people end up dying, unfortunately, because if you spend too many cards, you don't have enough cards. If all characters become trapped in the story encounter where they're prevented from moving in all directions or locked, but cannot complete the story action to complete it. So some of these cards will have locks on the edges, which means the only way to get back off that tile is to complete that action, which means if they're locked in there, the only thing I can do is send somebody else in there, hopefully, to get them out. So I can see in a solo that would be an unfun loss condition. And then the last one is if the 5th phase of the moon clock happens. So the moon clock will advance through certain cards being drawn and certain effects. This basically moves the Nightmare towards us to chase us down. So that is pretty much it. So we will, I mean, that's pretty much the game. And the rulebook is not too in-depth, so it's not that difficult of a game because it's really meant to be more of a story narrative game. And it's kind of people describe it more of like a Groundhog Day loop, where after, if you were to die, you're not really dying. I guess you're being startled awake, and then maybe you immediately fall back asleep and you go right back into this mysterious, weird realm that we're in. All right, so with that said, I think it tells us to read the prologue first. So we got some reading to do. Oh, good thing I took a swig. All right. Prologue. Twilight settled over the landscape as the last rays of sunlight disappeared behind the mountains. Lamps from the houses and taverns flickered on and illuminated the town in a soft glow. The road snaked through the valley to a solitary inn, which marked the center of town. A smaller path branched out to dozens of quaint houses, built in the stone in the woods from the local forest. There was a slower pace to life here for those who called it home. The sound of the distant hoofbeats echoed down the valley. Riders were approaching. Worried eyes watched from behind curtained windows, and the outsiders rode toward the inn. There were 6 of them in all. 5 of them wore plate mail trimmed with gold and blue. The shiny metal glinted in the light of the lantern post, and riders bore the knightly crest of the warriors charged with keeping the peace in the lanes. On a different day, they would be welcomed by the townsfolk with waves and smiles, but the 6th rider who accompanied them confirmed darker tidings. He wore the black cloak over leathers, with the symbol of an eye inscribed on each of his shoulders, marking him as a watcher. Agents in service of the 4 kingdoms, watchers investigated the worst of all the crimes. Something terrible must have happened for him to be traveling so far. Not stopping, the watcher Tamlin set his horse down one of the winding paths. They continued for nearly an hour until they reached the farmhouse. It stood behind 2 large willow trees, with long, leafy branches that swayed gently. Dismounting, Tamlin reached into his cloak and casually pulled out an unlit torch. He whistled a signal note and seemed to carry into the night. A moment later, sparks flickered and the torch head burst into flame. Similar bursts of light appeared behind him as others held up their lit torches. "Stay close and touch nothing," he cautioned the others when he stood up from his others as he strode up to the home. The wooden steps creaked as he ascended the front porch and placed a hand on the main door's handle. The door was torn off one of its hinges. It screeched open and Tamlin peered inside. The alert watcher, the knight next to the door gripping his sword tightly, shone coldly under the torchlight. "No need," responded Tamlin. "The shadows here are old." The knight shrugged to keep his sword out. The other held their weapons tightly as their nailed gauntlets. "A cautious lot," Tamlin noted. "They've all heard the stories." Steeling himself, Tamlin entered the empty living room. He scanned the area, and damp earthly smell hung in the air. Across the room, a strange symbol was painted on the floor in a dark ichor. In the middle of it stood an odd little stick doll. It was with the same sign as the others. "The same ritual," he murmured, as the others fanned out behind him. He knew they wouldn't find the family that lived here, nor gain any other clue to what happened to them. They were gone. All right, so this is it. Lost Ones is the adventure tile, so this references all the adventure tiles. So we are on adventure tile 1. Introduction. Your eyes open and you see the broken bars of your cage within the remnants of the wagon. You crawl through an opening, onto the aftermath of a battle. Other wagons with cages are overturned and burning. Atop a hill are charred remains of the enormous tree that has been split down the middle, as if struck by lightning. The surrounding area has an ethereal look that is nothing like home. You're lost, somewhere in a foreign land. So, we have a couple actions that we can take. This again, where I looked online, there wasn't a player aid, so unfortunately it means I'm going to have to kind of reference the book a couple times just to keep myself. So, we can explore the new map tile. So since we just started here, we can explore this tile by doing the actions in the book. We can move, basically allowing us to reveal a new tile, which would then, of course, give us new explore actions. We can complete a story encounter, which is what is in the book. And then we can activate a boon card. So if we had a boon card, we could activate that. So explore a new map tile. Players explore uncovered new areas when we placing valid map tiles adjacent to the current map tile, and then move their characters standing to the new location. And then what's the difference between that and move? Move. Player moves north. Okay, so you can move, but of course, if you're revealing a map tile, you're going to move anyways. And we can also piggyback. We can take somebody else with us. So, our player order, I guess I'll just go in this order. So we'll have Maeve go first. Her ability is Explore. I can draw an ability card whenever Maeve completes a story action with an eye. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first one we can do is with an eye. It's kind of sad. I got to use my wild for it. I need a discard. I didn't think about that. Because each person could have their own discard pile. So we have completed that. So we are going to go to number 55 on page 19. 55. There we go. There are no bodies and nothing useful to salvage among the wagons. You spot footsteps near the muddy ground. Several tracks head north through broken and burned trees. Others head east towards a misty forest. From atop the hill, you see a lake in the distance. To the west, and snow-covered peaks dot the horizon to the south. So it's giving us a semblance of the areas that are near us. All right, so we did number 1. So we're going to put that token there because we've already done that. So we can go back and read that if we want to remember some of the information. I guess this is probably a game where like you really should take notes, and I'm not. So that is that for her. So I pass. Oh, she gets to draw a card. So she gets a double run, outmaneuver. Yeah, so they can perform 3 actions, right? Up to 3 actions. So that was her first action. So the second action she's going to do is explore. So I think let's go ahead, and since I laid it out this way, we're going to go ahead and go north. So let's bring this down. We're going to go ahead and go north. So we need card number 2. All right. So card number 2, Maeve is going to then move north. Let me double check that the explore does not include a move, like a free move. Players explore and uncover new areas of the Otherworld by placing a valid map tile adjacent to the current map tile and then moving the character. Okay, and moving it. Okay. Player wants to move to an unrevealed location. You may step off the board and the cardinal directions orthogonally to the spot as long as the map tile indicates a new map tile can be placed. Whenever you play to it, then you read the relevant story. All right. So Maeve is now in map tile number 2. So we will read about number 2. Many of the trees in the woodland area are scorched and broken. An intense battle took place here. It is most likely related to the fighting at the wagons that led you to escape. So she has another clue here that we can do, but it would need an eye, and she's by herself. I didn't piggyback somebody with her. Maybe I should have. So right now we can't do anything in that tile. So as her third action, we can technically get another tile. Question is, do I want to get another tile? Or not. So as I go north, it seems like there's just more fire and there's swords and bad stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe that's better to do that now, because then like if a danger shows up, we're more prepared for the danger. But I'd probably want everybody else to be with me. So let's see here. What can I do? Does she have anything else I can do? Discard this card to cancel the effect of the foe on the map. The ability card has punch equal to the number of other abilities you choose to play. Draw an ability card with the punch. Yeah, so none of this is going to help me. So I don't think you got to take 3. I think it says you may take up to 3. I don't think it says I have to take 3. May complete. Okay. So I don't think she's going to do anything else. So we're going to go on to Will. So Will. For the second one, we needed puzzle pieces. Will does have some puzzle pieces. He's got a lot of puzzle pieces. So instead of using my scavenge, which is a puzzle piece and an eye, let's just go ahead and use his regular puzzle piece. Select an ability icon on a played ability card and add another type of the same type. Okay, so inner focus allows you to like double up. Right, so we are going to investigate on tile number 2. So investigate number 2. We are going to read page 25, number 30 or 137. So, investigating the position of the wagon that was your prison, you determined it was heading east before the battle. Whoever took you captive likely went in that direction, while those attacking them came from the north. So, I'm thinking, yeah, we want to go north, right? Because the people that captured us went east. I don't want to go after the people that captured me. I want to go after the people that saved me, right? That seems logical. All right. So So I think us going north was the right decision. So there's nothing else we can do here. So we're going to move Will up here. I debated whether or not I'm going to keep. I'll see how long I'm going to keep these standees here. I've got some tokens that are matching their colors, so I may just switch to these tokens at some point. So move Will up here in order to do number 2. And I guess since she can't do anything down here, we'll just go ahead and piggyback Kaya with us. So we need an eye. He does have an eye. And then Kaya, does Kaya have an eye? Kaya does not have an eye. All right, so we will use Will. I'm going to use his eyeball. All right, and then that allows us to read page 17, number 24. Right. Examining the scene, you find broken bits of armor and weapons scattered to the ground, but nothing useful. There are track marks continuing north to the edge of the forest, where the green plains begin. Straining your ears, you hear faint music notes and the sounds of water coming from the west. To the east, the leaves turn orange, and a layer of mist blankets the ground. So, music to the west. So maybe, I mean, music is usually something good, right? So maybe we should go west. All right. So that was his third action. So now it is up to Kaya. There's nothing else to do there. So it's up to Kaya. So Kaya is going to, she's going to go west. Oops, actually, I gotta let Bella out. Be right back. All right. So Bella now is going out, so we should be uninterrupted for the rest of the stream. No, all right. So I think we are going to have Kaya move. I think when she explores, I don't think she can piggyback though. Now there is a danger of having more than one person go into a zone at a time, because if there is something bad on that tile, then everybody experiences that bad thing. Now that's one thing I don't. Maybe I set that up wrong, because I can see what tile number 3 is, right? I feel like, hey, place a mess. Yeah, it says place the map tile deck. So I think we're supposed to have it where I can't see what's going to happen. So I think number 121 should be on the top. There we go. I was like, I can see what number 2 is. I don't feel like that's the way you should play that. All right. Yeah, so no, the only thing it talks about piggyback. Always advantages together, terrain, explore map tiles, but also risks, effects apply to player moving together. Yeah, so yeah, if I go to explore, I can't. So we're gonna go west because we're gonna go where that music is. Yeah, I think I need to switch to the tokens because I can't see the numbers on the things. These are standees, which probably work better as standees, but we are not in a standee way. So green, blue, and we'll make her pink. All right, and the bad guy, I guess we'll use his standee, I guess, because I don't have another color. All right, so we're going to make her go to the west, which is card number 3. So tile number 3, she goes in there. There's nothing bad going to happen to her, but we do get to read about number 3. You enter a woodland forest where leaves have turned to a bright red hue. Oh no, wait a minute. West was the music. Dang it, I went the wrong way. I wanted to go west. I wanted to go to the music. So we want number 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know my north, south, east, west. Remember, the easy way to remember west and east is it spells we on the, it's not called a compass. What are those things called? All right, nothing bad happens either. Oh, there's a nice little, picnic basket. All right. A light fog blankets the area as you follow the muddy footsteps along the forest path. They lead you to a woman's body on the ground. We can check for signs of life, which requires an eyeball, or search the body, which requires puzzles. So, Kaya, whenever Kaya rests, okay, we're not resting, so that doesn't happen. All right, so we can't do anything with that. She does not have anything to investigate there. Yeah. So, place this card with an ability card in your discard pile. She has nothing in her discard pile. So, she can't do anything else here. I don't think I want to make her go further. So I think what we're going to do is, I just noticed that's kind of hard for you guys to see. Let me switch to the lighter green one. There we go. That's better. So I think she's going to end her turn there. So let me go back to Mauve. Mauve is going to, of course, follow her. So she'll go ahead and piggyback Will with her. Say Will in action. All right, and does she have an eye? She does not have an eye, but she does have a puzzle piece, so we can search the body. My only fear is she might be alive. So, the question is, can Will help her? So can I barely play? No. Dang it, we have no eyeballs. I need more eyeballs. How do I get more eyeballs? I need more cards. I don't want to just search her body. I feel like she's going to be alive and she's going to be mad because I'm just searching her body. But it's all I can do right now. It's the only thing I can do. So I'm going to do what I can do. I can search her body. So we are going to, just so people know that there are standees, I'm going to have the standees on these. So people don't think that's how you play is with those. Although I think that works great. So yeah, we're going to, I guess, search the body. These are the same. So, rhymes and riddles. We're going to search the body. So searching the body is number 2. And we're going to go to page 25, number 157, or 147. 25, 147. You examine the body. The woman is wearing a simple brown dress and has a bracelet with strange markings. When you touch the bracelet, a vision flashes in your mind. You see the woman chanting with others in a circle around a bonfire. A ripple forms in the air and opens into a gateway. Something is stepping through it as the vision ends. Well, that's ominous. I don't like that. Okay, so 1 was there, 2 was there. I guess maybe we'll continue going north. Maybe we'll continue going north. All right, so Mauve is going to go north, so we need number 10. All right. Oh, the numbers are on the backside too. Cthulhu Mythos gives you more eyeballs. Yes, it does. All right, so that is number 10. Mauve is going up here. So we're going to read tile number 10. Oh, I read the wrong one. I read 4. Earlier I was supposed to read 8. Dang it. No, I was supposed to read 9. Holy cow, I completely read the wrong. That's not even what I was supposed to do. Holy cow, Will. Let's revert all of that. Because that wasn't even the right page. That wasn't even the right page, Will. All right. Reverse all of that. Get back to where we were. We need to be on page 9. Or tile 9. Right. We'll do this later. Yeah. 9. Here we go. Let's do here. Much better. Okay. Walking through a lush green forest, you hear splashing sounds of water. Following the sound, you find several. I was about to say, what happened to my music? You find several clear blue ponds. Nearby is a picnic laid out on a blanket over soft green grass. The sounds of laughter and singing startle you as a small group of satyrs come. Is it satyrs or satires? Come to view by one of the pools. They notice your presence and beckon you to join them, but you feel conflicted. Fey creatures offering you food and drink is the last thing you'd expect after what you've been through. Could they be aligned with the other ones who took you prisoner? So we can accept their offer or refuse their offer. I think we're going to accept their offer. So I think this was one Kaya's turn, but we'll just say that Kaya came over here, still didn't do anything. Now we've come with Mauve and we brought Will with us. So that was one action. So our second action, we need a puzzle and a communication, which she has. But she's got 1, 2, 3, 4. She's got 5 cards. Will's got 3, so I don't want Will to play a card. 2, 3, 4, and Kaya has 5 because she's not done anything. So I think we're gonna have Kaya play something. So Kaya's gonna play the communication card, and we will have Maeve do the puzzle card, and then that takes us to page 2075. Is that the pronounced Mauve or Mauve? Maeve? Mauve? M-A-E-V-E. I don't know. I've probably said it 2 different ways by now. Thanks. 75. You cautiously accept their offer of hospitality and take a seat on the picnic spread. They sense your nervousness and decide to sing you a ballad about the clever and mischievous satyr. He pulled hilarious pranks on others until one went too far and he ran afoul of Morgan, the queen of the unseelie court. She cursed the satyr of a spell of despair and sapped his spirit. With his joy of life gone, he decided to drown himself in the sea. Yet, as he made his way to the rocky shores by a cove, the satyr heard the most beautiful voice imaginable singing to him. The song lifted his spirits and freed him of the terrible curse. From then on, he carried the song in his head and taught it to other satyrs. This is why they all love to sing and be merry. With their ballad at the end, the satyrs wish you well and fade into the forest. Draw up to 3 cards from the ability deck. You may give these cards to refill the hand of any player who has a character on this map top. Oh, yeah, that was a good thing. All right, so we get 3 cards. All right. This one's kind of creepy because it has 2 eyes, so it actually looks like 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Maeve is pronounced Maeve, or Meave. It's 1-syllable Irish name of Gaelic origin from Maib, or Yeah, I know the letters for Irish is not what you think that sound should be. I've seen the TikTok videos. She was intoxicates. I pronounce using a long A. See, I was going with mauve, like the color, but okay, we'll go with May. We'll go with May. All right, so, all right, she has speaks. What does everybody need? What does everybody need? So Will needs a card. Will has like nothing. So let's give Will some options. So he's going to have the double option card. Mom has no search. She has communicate. I don't think anybody has search though. I think nobody has the eyeballs. So does she have a draw a card ability? No. So we'll do the draw a card with her. We'll do this one, discard this card to cancel the Fey effect rings on the map tile. Okay. Discard to cancel. Okay, so we basically have 2 of those. She's our canceler, it looks like. And actually we want to give the eyeballs to her, now I think about it, because that's how her ability triggers. She gets to draw a card whenever she does something with the eyeballs. All right, so that was 1. 2 was the quest, so 3, she is still going to move or explore up here to there. Now we get to read 10. We can't do anything there anymore. All right, I think I got this figured out. I'm not going to read the wrong story anymore. Yes, I will. You journey down a well-worn path and come across a farming village. Harvested crops have been placed in a central spot among several quaint homes. As you approach, you notice that nobody is outside and the doors in the homes are firmly shut. Worried eyes are peeking at you through the windows. Convince them to talk or take their food. Well, I don't want to be mean. I'm not a mean guy. So we're going to convince them to talk. Actually, can she convince them to talk on her turn? No, she cannot. So she can't convince them to talk. We're going to have to wait till next turn or until somebody joins her. So we're going to have Will join her up here. And of course, we do the piggyback because there's nothing that Kaya can do down there. And we need 2 communication. So he has no communication. Will is very uncommunicative. She has double communicate. So that works right off the bat with charming presence. Hopefully our charming presence makes them happy with us. We don't know. We will find out. 15, 16. Page 16, number 12. Calling out to the farmers, you coax them from their homes. After a chat, you learn they call themselves the Boggins. They trade with the kingdom of dwarves up in the mountains to the west. You also discover that they are so fearful as to be caught between warring fey courts. When asked about 2 sides, they mention Queen Titania is the summer queen of the north, and Queen Morrigan rules the lands of autumn on the east. They offer you some food and then return to safety to their homes. Draw up to 2 cards from the ability deck. You may give these cards to basically anybody who's in that slot. At Christmas, I like charming presents. Okay, so what do we have? We have, okay, so we know to the west. Yeah, west is going to be the dwarves. The warring side. So Queen of Summer is to the north and Autumn is to the east. Okay. I think we're still going to keep going north because the other people that captured us, what did it say? The people that captured us went east? I forget. See, this is why you need to write this stuff down. I think they did. So you get to draw 2 cards. Everybody's here. Change 1 ability icon on a played ability card to another. We're choosing, and then we have an eye. So we know we need to give her the eyes. And who has the least number of cards? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're basically the same. Let's give it to Will. All right. So 1, Will moved there. 2, Will completed that. 3, there's nothing else we can do there. So X. So 3, he's going to explore. We want to keep going north, so we will go to 27. And again, we can't take anybody with us. 27, 26, 27. All right, 27. This is now we're at the point where I'm probably gonna have to zoom out, or I guess I could move my characters down. It's not important that you guys see them anymore. I just have to find out where to put my cards. All right. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so now we can slide all this down. Again, if I have to zoom out, I'll zoom out. I think after this scoot, everything's going to have to zoom out. All right, so that is not a good card. So, we're going to read 27 first, and then we got to resolve the swords, which I think is the foe deck, which is not a good thing. Because he went in there by himself. He went in all gung-ho, thinking he can do it. He can't do it. You can't do it alone, Will. You gotta have some friends. Crossroads, yep. So it's got the symbol. You reach a valley at the edge of the rolling green plains and stretch into the south and the east. Between two mountains to the north is an entrance to a lush emerald green forest. We can search the valley. Now, this is the thing. Every time you go into this tile, it activates that again, right? So we would have to, if anybody wants to come up in there to do something here, right, then we're going to have to activate that foe thing again. So let me double check. I think with the foe symbol, we just draw a foe card. There's the symbols. Here we go. Foe. Flip over the top card from the toad deck. Play ability cards that match or beat the required ability icons on the foe card to defeat the foe or lose the game. Reshuffle the foe card into the deck. The foe is defeated. So this is where a lot of people don't like the game because you didn't know this was going to happen, right? You have to go onto that tile. You have to flip it. You can't bring anybody with you because you can't piggyback like you could if it was a normal move. So Will is up there by himself and he has to defeat this foe card by himself. And if he doesn't, he ends the game. I'm not going to end the game. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think Alex said he basically just moved the moon clock. But yeah, we will see. So red caps. Needs a fist to defeat. Move Nightmare 2 map tiles towards this location. So I think this means that Nightmare has to show up. I forget where it even talks about Nightmare. Like I read these rules and I don't remember talking about Nightmare. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't talk about Nightmare. Holy cow. Come on, rules. Specs. Move, complete. Storybook, adventure book, ability cards, a boon card. Our characters, I didn't read our character story, sorry guys. Foe cards, traveling the map, enemies hunting. The players must flip over the top card from the deck, determine the enemy. All players in the map work together ability. To do so, hands match the foe card, doing so defeat. Players can't meet, then we lose the game. Alright. Note, the Nightmare is a special foe that is hunting down the player cards in the standee that comes into play when an effect or card calls for Nightmare to move to the nearest character. For additional rules about Nightmare, see page 7. Could have sworn I was on page 7, I did not see that. Page 7. Nightmare. He's got his own little pink blob. The first time the Nightmare is revealed, which is the Nightmare symbol, put him on map 1. So technically nothing happened. Nightmare revealed as an effect with the Raven icon on the tile as part of a story encounter or on a Bane card. Alright, so it doesn't say he is an effect of a foe card. So that just didn't do anything. So to defeat that, I need 1 fist, which I thought he had a fist, or I don't have a fist. Change the icon on a played ability card to okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to do that. Yeah, because I don't have a fist in my discard either. Alright. So I have to do 2 cards just to succeed at this. Alright. That's not good. So, we did that. That goes back in. Like, search the valley for sure. For sure, man. Totally. Totally. Yeah. I lived in California for a few years. I can talk the talk. I don't know if I can walk the walk anymore. My knees won't let me do that. All right. So that's unfortunate. You defeat them and you get absolutely nothing. So that was his third action, was going in here. Now, he's going to have to do that by himself. And I don't think I have the capability to do that. Select icon on a played ability card. Add another of the same type. Yeah, so him having 2 inner focuses kind of sucks right now. So yeah. So we can't do anything with this location. I feel like these would be the ones you'd want to search because it's a bad thing happened there. So Will's done. We go to Kaya. So Kaya doesn't have any eyes either. So there's no point in Kaya going up there. So I think we're going to have Kaya explore to the east and see if we can go north this way. So we're splitting up. You're not supposed to split up the party, although I guess you are to some degree. All right, so 11. All right, that wasn't too bad. All right, Kaya, get over there. So Kaya goes to 11. Back to 11. 11. All right. Rolling plains stretch out before you as the midday sun shines brightly from above, providing you a gentle warmth to your skin. You crest a hill and discover a ring of large stones. A circular stone rests in the middle, with symbols etched into its smooth surface. Examine the stones takes 2 puzzle pieces, which she does not have. Now, I do have the ability to replace this card with an ability card in your discard pile. She has 2 puzzles here. No, she does not. Huh. So, she can't do that. So she kind of is stuck there too. So I guess we'll go north. She can't do anything there. All right. Maybe we'll come back. Probably not. We'll probably die before that happens. These nightmares are not something to be trifled with. All right, so she's going north to 28. Ooh, that looks fancy smancy. So, 28. So this is where, like, I like app-assisted story games because this whole flipping around and finding things is just annoying to me, kind of. And then the whole reading thing is just going to kill my voice, right? Out on the open plain, you spot riders approaching. As they get closer, you make out the lithe forms of Sid's soldiers. They assure you that they mean you no harm and escort you to a larger encampment near the lower half of a gigantic statue. You are taken to a tent at the center and meet a man with a silver arm. He introduces himself as Nada, the king of Sealy Court, and he claims to be responsible for the attack that set you free. Hey, that's what we're looking for. So, we do have the option to rest, but we don't want to rest until everybody is there. But we do have the option to speak to them. And we do have this, which allows us to also draw a card. So let's go ahead and do that. She gets to draw a card. Which gives her 2 eyeballs, which would help over here. So read page 17, number 32. 1732. All right. Nada explains to you that you were kidnapped by the unseelie Fae and brought to the Otherworld. Your wagon train came through a hollow tree. It is a special type of tree that creates a gateway between worlds. You were headed to the land of Autumn when Nadia's army attacked. He doesn't know why you were taken captive, but you must find another hollow tree to return home. Nadia mentions that his people care for one in the Emerald Forest to the northwest. However, it is suffering from a powerful curse by Morgan, the unseelie queen. All right, so we need to go northwest. So I was going the right way. We want to go northwest. All right, so we want everybody else to get up here. So she's going to pass. We're going to have Maeve move once, move twice. I guess she's just going to chill out there. So then she's going to pass, so now Will gets to go. So he's going to move once. Luckily, that's not locked. So luckily, we could move over there. Now that Will is there, we can do the rest action. That does move the moon clock. There. And then we do move the moon clock because we rested. When we rest, we get to read, but let me double check. I don't remember we draw back up to 5. Actually, hang on. Do we want to draw back up to 5? 1, 2, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I don't think we want to actually rest. Never mind. I don't think we want to. I don't think rest gives us anything else that would be advantageous to us. where is rest? Token, story end, encounter, lock. Where do you talk about rest? Round, phases, objectives, move, complete a story, free actions, boom. Nothing in here talks about rest. You gotta be kidding me. Explore, good encounter. Maybe when you rest, it tells you what we're gonna do. Bane, blizzard, fey, foe, lava, nightmare, underwater. Move, complete an encounter, storybook. Where's rest? Ability cards, adventure book, choices, unlock symbols, more ability cards. So it's got rest here. I care. Only characters. Okay, here we go. Specific story encounters the map tile to rest. There should be a header here talking about rest because this is important to go look for. To refill their hand back to the maximum size. So again, that would only get us to 5, which doesn't help everybody. Although moving the moon clock now does nothing. Only has one story. No, if I remember correctly, there's 4 or 5 different endings. I believe somebody said there's like 5 different endings. I think Alex in his review, he said there was like 5 different endings. So, and you can die. The other thing is, as we're going, we might find up these lore tokens. And so these lore tokens are numbers, and then you'll read those at the end as well, based on whatever you did. You may find one or many. I don't think I want to rest because there's no, I mean, it would do me no harm to do it because the nightmare isn't out, and I don't think we spawn him, right? I didn't say we spawn him for the moon. We just spawn him if his card comes up, or a boon card or a story makes him come out. Yeah, it just says move nightmare. He's not on the map. Let's see here. I mean, she's the only one that would benefit. Because she's at, or Will's at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. She would get 1. Mauve gets nothing because she's already at 4. It doesn't hurt us. So I think we're going to do it because it doesn't hurt us. So let's go ahead and do it. Will gets 2 cards. And then Kaya gets 1, 2, 3, 4. She gets 1. But her ability, Dreamwalker, whenever she rests and the hand is refilled, swap an ability card with 1 from the discard pile. So, what do I want to do? She already has another one from the discard pile. That's her normal one. I think we'll do the speak. I like the double symbols. That allows her to draw a card. This is an and or. Which technically I have another and or. She's already got feet. So maybe we do this one, the fist, and another speech bubble. Because she has no speech bubble. Yeah, so let's do that. Alright. So. That's our rest action. So we rested. Read page 125, number 140. 25, number 140. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? There we go. Nadia makes camp available for you to recover your ordeals. Refill the hand of any player that has a character on this tile and advance the phase of the moon clock. Okay, so it's basically telling you what to do with the rest. It's a very uneventful story happened there. All right. So Kaya. Oh no, that was Will. Will moved in there. And then he performed the rest action. So that was 2. So we want to go northwest, but I don't want to go through there. So we're going to go up and then over. So we're going to go, Will's going to go to 53. Will's going to be the reckless one again. He's gung-ho. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I'm a little bit scared. Guys. I'm scared. So he's going, oh, he found a crystal cavern, which is going to not get us west. Oh, we're going to have to go back down and around, I think. All right, he's going up there. So number 53. So one thing I didn't mention at the beginning, this is in this same world for the Dreams and Shadows. Now, I do have Dreams and Shadows. The minis are not painted. But if somebody would like to see Dreams and Shadows played. I do have it and Monsters Within. And again, it's up on Extra Life as part of the games I'm giving away, just because I don't have time for campaign games unless somebody says play. And it looks like the Dreams of One, looks like there are an expansion and miniatures. So good thing he didn't send me the miniatures, but there is an expansion, which I guess adds more cards. All right, so what was I doing? What was I doing before that Extra Life ad break? 53, I said? 53. 53. I do like that it's spiral bound though. That's nice. Hiking up the mountain trail, you head into a cave where the path is lit by glowing crystals embedded in the walls. You eventually come across a campsite of gnomes that are mining the crystals. They are busy with their work, but the leader seems willing to speak to you. So I can speak with the gnome leader with a speak symbol. All right. Does Will have a speak symbol? No, Will does not. I've got my adapter die again, but again, that always costs him 2 cards. And all his cards are like doubles. Yeah, he's got these 2 inner focus. That just hurts. Like his cards do no good. His deck is to assist, and he keeps running off by himself. Because he does have an no, he's never had a conversation. So yeah, that's all Will can do. He's just chilling out there, waiting for somebody to come up. So Kaya does have the communication. So I don't think there's a reason for me to take Maeve with us, because I think we're going to come back down. I don't know if we want to go further into the cave. You guys can't even see the cave anymore. So yeah, it looks like I'll be zooming out if I go further north. So I don't think I'm going to have Kaya piggyback. I think she's just going to come up by herself. And she's going to do... Good thing we swapped that out, didn't it? She's going to do War and Peace. And that is page 19, number 54. Number 54. There you go. The wizened old gnome gives you an appraising look and welcomes you to his camp. He recognizes you're a foreigner and tells you a bit of the history of this place. You learn about the Titans, towering giants who used to rule all mountains. Their race slowly faded from memory, and now only 1 or 2 remain. There is a path on the top of this mountain peak where the last of the Titans dwell. He warns you of an ancient fire pit that has recently awakened, along with a volcano, covering much of the eastern mountain range in lava. Yeah, I don't think I'm going that far. I'm going to have to come down and around, I guess. Because if I go to the top of the mountain, that's not going to solve me getting to the northwest where the tree is, right? Because he told me I needed to go northwest for the tree. So 1, she went in there. 2, she completed the thing. 3, she's bringing Will back down because he needs to stop rushing ahead. All right, and that is done. All right. So now Maeve is going to... Can she piggyback everybody or piggyback 1 person? Can she piggyback more than 1 person? All right. Other players on the same map tile can also choose to piggyback, move together. Okay, so they can all move together. All right. So she's going to go with her actions. 1. Oh wow, we'd have to go way far down now to look at it. There's no left here. We're gonna have to go all the way down and back up. Unless we go here. If we're going as a group though, it should be easy to complete this foe. Okay, so we are all gonna go in here. And we're gonna draw the foe card. So to complete this, we need 2 fists or run to defeat. And then move Nightmare 1 spot, which we don't have to do. So, since you initiated this madness, it only needs 1 run. So basically we're running away from him. So she's gonna run away. Or we're running away, so we've defeated him. Oh, hang on, does this one? Oh, and then it says we shuffle it back into the deck. Looks like there's a micro expansion for it. Yeah, that's what I was looking at, David. It's like a micro expansion. I guess it adds maybe more foes, more boons, stuff like that. Now, one thing with the boon deck, it tells you not to shuffle it. I accidentally shuffled it, so I had to unsort it before the stream. So I don't know how much that impacts when that happens. All right. So 1 was there. Is that an action? Fighting. Complete a story counter now. Activate a boon card now. Move, complete. No, I don't think that's a. I don't think that's an action. So that was one. Now she has to go off on her own. So she's going to go by herself to 52. Adds one storybook, 9 more map cards, 1 more boon, 2 fake cards, and 1 plot tokens. Yeah, it's weird. He sent me all the other expansions, but he didn't send me that expansion or the minis for this game. Maybe they were just out of stock. I don't know. Because yeah, in the other games he sent, he sent me everything for them, but the expansions and the minis and all. Again, this was sent to me by the publisher, not as a review copy, not as a copy that he wanted me to play. It was because I helped him out with a Kickstarter, giving feedback on their last Kickstarter, which didn't do well. So yeah, so he sent these as a thank you. All right, so we are going to 52 now. Now, luckily, we can go west where we want to go. So, 52. At the entrance of the emerald green forest, you see a swarm of butterflies flying over giant flowers. Their passage is leaving a trail of twinkling dust in the air. As you get closer, you realize they're actually tiny pixies that are playing with each other. So, I can catch a pixie with 2 fists, or I can talk to the pixies for 2 speech. So, I think we want to talk to them. Again, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. At least that's how I'm playing, I guess. We don't want to be... free playable game is cool. Yeah, a free playable game is cool. And that's what we're doing with Extra Life. We're giving away free games. Minus a small donation to charity. All right. Yeah, I don't think we want to catch them. She has 1 communicate. So she will have to wait till somebody else comes up. So she is going to pass. Will is going to bring Kaya with him. So piggyback. That's 1. All right, now we have everybody up here. So Will can duplicate. Change 1 ability icon on a plate ability card to one of your choosing. So he can copy. Okay. So he's going to do inner focus to, what she got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're going to use her. Communicate. All right. So Will is copying her communicate. So we are going to read 178, number 27. I probably shouldn't be like all nice, because you know that probably can get you in trouble too, because you're like, oh, you're so like naive. Look, now we're going to eat you. Because pixies in some stories, pixies are like evil, right? And they eat people. You plan to do 24-hour playing or weekend playing day for Extra Life. So I did the video, David. I haven't posted yet. The video, I think, goes out tomorrow night, because on my non-stream nights, I post videos when I can. So it'll be the Extra Life video talking about the culling for charity. I plan to do the whole week. So I'm going to do the whole week in April. And then I'm going to do the whole week in November, as long as my work's letting me off. And they better, because I don't usually ask off. And then it's for charity. So they say no, that's kind of like rude. I plan most of the days will probably just be me, and I do plan like bigger campaign games. So like if David, you've seen my collection videos, you see games you'd like to see me play, I'll do that. I think for tabletop, it might be more Marvel United related, just because I have some Marvel United giveaways. The only thing is they're not painted, so I'd have to paint them. So maybe some of the streams will be painting streams. I don't know. Weeks, wow. Well, it's because they've always had a tabletop weekend, and I figured I'll do the whole week if I can get off. And then November, instead of Extra Life Game Day, they've actually changed to Extra Life Game Week, because I guess 2 reasons. Not everybody can do the day that they have it assigned. And then 2 is it used to be a 24-hour marathon, and people are not... that's not healthy for people to stay up for 24 hours straight. So I guess they determined that's probably not a good thing. Marvel United Toys. Yeah, I've got some extra base copy. The Amazon deal, right? They came with the base game, the Spider Box, and the Doctor Strange. And then I have a couple extra playmats. I have a Witching Hour. I've got a couple extra of the promos. I think Mr. Sinister, Hulk, and Juggernaut. Plus the minis. So I've got a lot of stuff I'll be able to make 2 bundles out of. So I would want to play Marvel United when I do that. Did I read yet? David's got me all distracted. What am I reading, David? Page 27, number 178. Stop distracting, David. 27, 178. All right. You warmly greet the pixies and convince them to talk to you. The playful little fae warn to be careful of the magical circles of mushrooms, called fae rings. They are hidden from mortal sight. Anyone that crosses a circle is compelled to dance. The fae rings are just to the west of you, but there is a cave in the north where you can search for crystals that see hidden things. Well, I guess I know where we're going. Playmats and promos sound cool. Yeah, it's a reason they're not in my Culling for Charity list, because I don't want to not have them. So we're having to slide our cards down again, because I still think we're good without zooming out. We really don't need this entry card being very visible, so we'll slide that down more. For some reason, I'm just going in a straight line. I don't know why. All right. So, she told us to go north. That was Will went in. Will did the action to solve that. So Will has one more move. Is Will going to be gung-ho and go by himself again? Yes, he is. That's what Will does. Will doesn't wait for anybody. He just goes. What are we at? 85. 85. Right? Yeah, 85. Now, there's some of these cards I just noticed there's like an 84 and an 84A, and 84A has, it's red instead of green. And see, this is normally green. It's red. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So, we go north to 52. No, to 85. We were on 52. So we did this one already. So can't do nothing there yet. Again, this is where an app is helpful. This was, I don't know, it was 2021. Was this before the apps got real popular and everybody made an app game? The Emerald Forest ends in the front of an open cave at the base of a mountain. The mouth of the cave brims with white crystals, and all you're exploring at home, you've never seen anything like this before. So we need an eye and 2 puzzle pieces. So, Will can duplicate. He's also got the 2 puzzle pieces. We just need an eye to come up here and visit with. All right. So, Kaya has, she got a double eye. But I can replace a card in the discard pile. So maybe we do that, because I don't think I want to waste. Yeah, we already used Maeve's single eye. Yeah. Oh, Tony Box just turned on. Hi, I'm Sky. Paw Patrol pup. That thing just keeps turning on. We forget to take the Paw Patrol off when it's plugged in. The Tony Box just kicks in whenever it does an update or looks for an update. So it's just out there talking. All right, I'm gonna go turn that off. Hang on. All right, there we go. No more Paw Patrol. And the funniest thing is, she doesn't like watching the Paw Patrol cartoon. She likes the Paw Patrol characters. She knows all their names, and she likes listening to them on the Tony Box. But she doesn't want to watch the cartoon. We don't even know how she learned all their names, because she knows them from appearance, but she's never watched the cartoon. It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. All right, so we are up here. Kaya can do stuff. So Kaya is going to get we need an eyeball for Kaya. All right, let's put our character cards over here. Since I'm not currently using this space, that way I don't forget to use their abilities. So this is our turn order. Yeah. So Kaya, she should have a single eye. No, she does not have a single eye in her discard pile. Oh, I don't want to waste a card. The problem is I waste an eye doing this one. I can change an icon. Does somebody have a single puzzle piece? But then he's playing 2 cards. That's almost as bad. That's almost as bad as just wasting 2 eyes. Well, actually, it's worse because you'd rather waste a symbol than waste a card. So let's do that then. We're gonna waste a symbol. So he's gonna play Puzzle Prodigy, and then Kaya, who was the one initiating this, is going to play the double eye. So technically, Kaya had to play something anyways because she needs to initiate. All right, so she moved to 1. This is her second action. We are going to read page 2188. Only 4 characters in the box. 5 in the 4 in the box. 5 in the box. There's 5. There's two more that I didn't select. So really, I can't say that the story's going to change because it doesn't seem like there's any story elements based on the characters, or like personal stories. But they do have different abilities. So, all right, 2188. 2188. In the year 2188, you enter the cave and are blinded by piercing light. Rubbing your eyes, your sight returns, and you see your own image reflected hundreds of times by the crystals. Each reflection is distorted in some way. Moving deeper into the cave, you come across a pair of stacked crystals and realize that your reflection in them is more clearly visible. You search for the crystals that fit together like a puzzle. After some time, you assemble a large crystal mirror that reflects your image perfectly. Another bright light flashes. When your vision clears again, you notice that your eyesight is much sharper than it was before. Gain Mind's Eye from the boon deck. Oh, well, it would be nice if you actually told me what number that was, guys. So why does it matter that I don't shuffle these? Because I now have to hunt it down anyways. Mind's Eye. Oh. Does everybody go into Mind's Eye? There's 2 of them. I don't know why there's 2 of them. I wonder why there's 2 of them. Because if everybody benefited, you would think, oh, there'd be 4, because it's a 1 to 4 player game. So the only thing is, the difference is, David, when you play, right, based on the number of players is the amount of ability cards you can maximum have. So at 4 players, the max is 4 ability cards. So if you were to play with 5 and wanted to house rule it, you'd basically get 3 ability cards. I don't think that's enough to accomplish much. I honestly think 4 is probably too many people. I'm thinking 3 might be the sweet spot because 5 seems like enough where I'm able to get things done to a small degree and not have to skip over a lot. So let's see here. When resolving the story, complete story, boon cards and character cards. Note the completed story counter activating a boon card will take more than 1 action. So it doesn't say, so I don't know why there are 2 in there. See if there's, and it didn't have a number either. So now I'm a little confused. All right, we'll just gain a Mind's Eye. All traveling with you are immune. So basically all of us are immune to the Fey rings. And then it says this arrow symbol, and it says an eye or a... Oh, we can use this until we rest, which allow us to count it as an eye or a puzzle piece. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right. All right, so that was her second action. Now we have this, we can go west, because that's where this guy told us to go, was northwest. So we're going to head that direction. So, she's going to go and explore 84. 84. Let's see here. So this is the one where there's 2 different ones. So I have a feeling something could happen to make this one come out. is my fear. We've been doing pretty good. We have not run into nightmares. So the only other videos I found was Alex Radcliffe's review and Rolling Solo's playthrough. And he ran into Nightmare on his very first faux card. Like, Nightmare immediately came out. So, we've been lucky. Nightmare hasn't come out yet. But we did get a skull. So, what is going to happen to poor little Kaya, who went off on her own? Skull. Nope, that's not the skull. Where is the list? Again, a nice player aid would be nice. Like, if they were to make a second edition of this, I would just recommend an app. I told you what all these things are doing, but a player aid would be nice. Draw and attach a random Bane card to the character card of each player on this map tile. Bane cards may be removed by some abilities and boon cards. So, the Bane card, unfortunately, is happening. So we kind of don't want to go that way. So we needed to come back down and over. Yeah. We need to go down and over because this would have been the Fae, and we would ignore that with the Fae ring. Right? Don't horse around and you won't need Nightmare. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Remember, the story said don't go west because you needed the thing. So we got the thing. I should have gone down and around. So we do get a Bane card. She does not have the ability to Fae rings, foe. Yeah. Discard this card again. Yeah, foe. Yeah. So nobody has anything to stop that. So, all right. So we're going to get our first Bane card. Reduce your hand size by 1. Discard an ability card if you have a full hand. So, that is Kaya's Bane. And she's not at full hand, so she's good. She doesn't have to discard anything. The only thing is now when we rest, she only gets 4 cards. All right. So that was 1. 2, she's going to go ahead and do 51. Well, technically she could go over to 83. But I don't want everybody else to have to go through here. They're going to have to go the long way. Let's do it. Let's have her go. Oh, hang on. We didn't read the story, did we? We were skipping the story. Don't skip the story, Will. 84. Beneath dark aura, you see a pale and sickly hollows tree. It leaves the color of moldy bread. With leaves the color of moldy bread. There is an entryway at the base of the tree. But as you move closer, a feeling of dread washes over you. Terrifying images of your worst nightmares form out of the mist. You tremble uncontrollably and slowly back away from the area. Sing a siren song. So, it requires siren song, which we don't have. So this is again where an app would come in, or if you were, it's a Bane Batman crossover. No, that's Friday. That's Friday's live stream. Lunchtime. So this is where an app comes in, or like if you want to make notes, and there was nothing that came in the game itself to take notes, but you should take notes, I guess. When I played Distant Skies, Falling Waters, the one by the guy that does above and below, with that one, Distant Skies, I was taking notes because I need to take notes. All right, so I think we are going to just go over to 83 like I planned anyways. All right, 83. All right, 83. So that was 1, 2. That's actually only her second action too. So 83. I'm opposed to app games. Storybooks are good. My brain can't keep up with remembering everything anymore. You reach the northern part of the city, resting with the branches of gigantic trees. Standing apart from other dwellings is a majestic library filled with tomes of knowledge. A scholarly Cid politely greets you at the entrance and gives you a tour. As he takes you past several other Cid, deep in research, he mentions that his people are quite busy investigating a curse placed on the nearby hollow trees. When the tour is over, he grants you access to explore their library and learn more about the Otherworld. So we can't go further north. We can keep going west. So I think I'm on the right path. To keep going west. I'm going to have to shift everything this way in a minute. So ask about the curse or search for clues. So can she do anything on her own? No. Well, if I replace this card with another card, so she could ask about clues. Actually, let's do this, because then she gets to draw a card. So we're going to play this card to get this card. And we're going to play this card to ask for clues and draw a card. Draw a card. We're going to ask about the curse. So page 1846. 1846. That was a good year, 1846. I remember it well. The guide is quite interested in your tale and nods sympathetically when you ask for help getting home. He warns you that anyone who approaches the Hollow Trees will suffer nightmares strong enough to harm their minds. From what they have learned so far, the enchanting song of a siren may be able to lift the curse. They frequent the western coast, but are dangerous as the sirens have lured many to their drowning death. Well, now we know where we get our siren song. We need to go west, and I imagine it's not going to be the northwest. I imagine it's going to be like southwest. I would almost guarantee. Apps sometimes go away and then your game is broken. Board games, I get that, and I do agree. I think having an ability to download a APK, it's permanent, or download a website app, which would be permanent, or also have the book available, right? So you have the book. So if the app ever did go away, you still have the book. I do agree that a lot of companies now are just completely going straight app, and then yeah, your game is dead if that app ever goes down. Lucky Duck is a good one, which means I should probably play all my Lucky Duck games soon. All right, so that was number one. So I think we want to bring everybody else up here though to search for more clues. So I think we'll leave her here so that way we can use her for the tests. So that brings us back to Mauve. So she's going to go 1. And then she's got to go by herself here. For me, I think the reason I've never really thought badly about apps is because I come from video games, right? So because I come from video games, I just think of them as an extension with video games. So 51. Oh, actually, hang on. We're no longer accompanying Kaya. Dang it. We're not accompanying Kaya anymore. Oh, that sucks. Traveling through the Emerald Forest, you eventually reach a beautiful glade. A summer's sun shines brightly down from the clear sky. Giant, brightly colored mushrooms have formed a large ring at the edge of the clearing. Staring at your scene, you feel the odd tickling sensation and a sudden urge to dance. Find something else to eat. So, we're dancing. It's the Fey effect. What happens with the Fey effect? Do I want to cancel the Fey effect? I guess is a question. Because I do have, I think she has the card that cancels the Fey effect. Fey rings. When player moves from map tile, advance the phase of, when players move from this map tile, advance the phase of the moon clock. The players must escape before the end of the 4th phase or the game is lost. When the players move from this map tile. Oh, okay. From this, so when we leave it. So we need to we need to stay here because she needs to come down here so we can all travel together. Back up. Yeah, okay. So as long as we're not leaving, we're fine. We're just kind of hanging out, dancing right now. She's just dancing. Dancing to the beat. All right, so puzzle piece. Does she have a puzzle piece? It is the question. She does not have a puzzle piece. So we are not able to do that one. So she's chilling. She's passing. She says, I ain't doing nothing else. Do we put Will in there as well? Will does not have a puzzle piece. I could make a puzzle piece. Does Kaya have a puzzle piece? Kaya does not have a puzzle piece. Kaya does not have a puzzle piece. So we can't even do this one. Hang on. No. My question is that going to be good or bad? Like, I would think maybe it's going to help us. So I think Will's gonna move, right? But then he's just gonna pass. All right. So then I'm gonna come down this way because I don't want to get another Bane. So she's gonna come down to 50, and hopefully it's better than the other two because the other two are just not nice. 50. All right. Let's see what happens. 50. Oh, good. Nothing bad. All right. She explores here. So that was 1. Page 50. You reach the heart of the Emerald Forest and discover an enormous tree stretching up into the clouds. An elegant castle is nestled within the gigantic branches. It's the Summer Queen. Oh, I didn't even notice they have names. The Summer Queen. Sith guards approach and politely ask you to follow them. They escort you into the castle and take you to the throne room where the golden-haired woman in unearthly beauty is patiently waiting. She introduces herself as Tatiana, the Summer Queen. Tell her our story or rest. Well, we don't want to rest until everybody is there, and I have to get them in there. So, do we want to tell her our story while we are here? No, we cannot tell her our story. So, that was our first action. Second action, go there. Third action, bring everybody with us, and we get to ignore the pay effect because we have the mind's eye. We are good. All right, so now everybody is chilling like a villain right there. All right, so now it is Maeve's turn. Maeve's turn. So we need a speech bubble. Maeve does not have a speech bubble. So therefore, I think she has to play a card for somebody else to be able to do it. Right? When story counter, the player will need the necessary items listed in choice. These items are abilities found on ability cards, moon cards, character cards. Note the completing a story counter by activating a boon card will take more than one action because you have to activate the boon card. One or more types of encounters, each listed abilities. Ability cards from hand must have the ability icons that match the cost of the story encounter completed. When multiple players are on the same map tile, they may help each other by sharing ability cards from their hands. Does not count towards the helper's actions. Okay, so yeah, so basically I don't have a card, so they can help me even if I don't have a card. So, does anybody have a speech bubble? No, but I can get one. So, same thing, we're going to use Survival Instinct to get our speech bubble. We're going to play the speech bubble, which also lets her draw a card. And then we're going to be able to complete that one. So, 58, page 19. 58. Tatiana listens to you and sympathizes with your plight. My court of summer is at war with those who kidnapped you, she says. We have a common enemy in Morgan, an unseelie queen who has found a way to invade the waking world. Titania mentions that this hollow tree to the northeast that could normally take you home. However, it is under powerful curse, but I thought the other guy said northwest. Have I been going the wrong way the whole time by accident? In the valley, we have speech bubble gum. Huh. Didn't the other one say that it was to the northwest? We've been going to northwest the whole time because I could have sworn the other one said it was in the northwest. All right, well, we kind of, I think, went where we needed to go anyways, so, yeah. The northern edge of Tatiana City has a library that research how to lift the curse. There's also a lodge to the west that is studying nightmare dreams. The Summer Queen cannot offer any more aid beyond shelter in her place. All right. Who earlier told us it was this guy, right? This guy down here told us that it was to the northwest. Or did he say his capital was to the northwest? Northeast from the summer tree, northwest from the further east. I think he did. I think he said their thing was here. So let's hear, what was that? That was page 28. Let's see what he said again. Again, why you need to take notes, Will. And I watched Alex's review too, and he said take notes, and I still didn't bring a notepad with me. All right, so 28, that was page 17, number 32. Page 17, number 32. Nutty explains you were kidnapped. Da, da, da. Wagon came through. Da, da, da. Nutty mentions his people care for one of the emerald forests to the northwest. Okay, he cares for one in the emerald forest to the northwest. However, he is suffering from a curse. So yeah, that's a typo. So I'm not sure which one's correct. One of these two is correct. I'm thinking the northwest because that's where they are. So I think when she mentioned northeast, unless she's talking about here, this being northeast, because remember, we didn't get to do that story there. Yeah, we didn't get to investigate that area. Right? So maybe technically it's correct. That'd be northeast, it'd be right here. Because we actually didn't do either one of these. No, we did this one, right? That's where we got the glasses. That's where we got the boon, was from there. We did do that one. We didn't do these three. Okay. All right, so that's fine. Where are we at? We're on 50. So we can rest. I think we need to, because we're at 4 cards, 3 cards. 3 cards. Nightmare's still not here. I think we go ahead and do it, right? Because Nightmare's still not here. So moon phase. So what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. So she gets 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. She only gets to go to 4 because she is currently horrified. She's currently horrified, not the game. I think that's it, just to the right of number 1. Not number 1. Number 1's way down here on the bottom. You mean just to the right of the one we're on, which would be here. So I don't think I want to go there to complete that. We did complete this one. Right, but what did she tell us we needed to do to the west? Oh yeah, we needed the siren song. That's what it was. Something told us about a siren song. This told us about the siren song, right? Yeah, this told us about the siren song. So we have to go further south or further west to get to the sirens. I guess we're going west. So we're going to slide these cards off. There. All right. Heading west. The blue 1 disc. Yeah, this one here. Okay. Oh, this one. Yeah. Because I remember you're right. It said something about the siren song. So we need to go find the siren song. So that was Maeve, right? Maeve did that. Part everybody will. Or Kaya. Now I forget whose turn it was. Yeah, it was Maeve because Kaya had to help. Okay. So that was 1. 2 was completing the action. 3 was the rest. So Maeve is done. So now it's Will. So Will is going to do what Will does. Will is just going to go all gung-ho, all by himself, as always, and just go off to tile number 81. Because, that's what Will does. 81. 81. We haven't found any lore. This is a huge deck, guys. Like, this is how much of the deck there is. So I'm on the right path, but like there may be multiple, like I said, I think there's multiple ways to win this in the story. Because like I said, I chose to go with these guys. Probably if I would have gone with the other guys, there'd probably be some other way to get out of here. All right, so 81. Nothing bad. That's good. I like that. So 81. Anyway. Dream Lodge. You arrive at the western edge of the majestic city, built high above the trees. The Sid who live here generally ignore your presence. As you look around, you notice buildings with the symbol of a half-moon beneath a twinkling star. You enter it and find a quiet and peaceful domain. It appears empty. The entire ceiling is painted like a night sky, and you hear the soft splashing sounds of nearby fountain. There are several alcoves off to the side where you see beds made of smooth marble. Learn about nightmares or delve into the other worlds. So, Will, all on his lonesome, is not capable of doing either of those. Well, no, if he's got a puzzle. Do I have a puzzle? No, he doesn't have a puzzle. If I had a puzzle, I could, because he's got the center focus. He's got puzzles in his discard. So he's kind of just chilling by himself. So I guess he's going to pass. And then Kaya is going to bring her with her. So that's one. Second action. Wow, she's got one puzzle piece, but it does get to allow her to draw a card. So that would work if... actually, Will can help her. So she's going to play that. Draw a card. Oh, I forgot. When she did her thing earlier, I could have swapped a card. Let me. Her ability lets me swap a card earlier. So I'm going to keep the one that I played, which is fine. I don't know if I wanted to swap anything. No, I think. Oh, hang on. This is a card to cancel the effects of a Bane on this map tile. Oh, dang it! It's on the map tile, not the one in her hand. So that's fine. All right, so Will needs to copy that. Select ability icon on the played card and copy it. So he just copied the puzzle piece. So 2 puzzle pieces. 175.27. Oops. 175. You sleep in the marble bed and a hazy dream flickers on your mind. You see the home burning in a fire of bestial goat horn creatures sweep across the land. The dream then shifts to a cold, dark place beneath the earth. A rotting limb sprouts from the ground and a corpse digs its way out. The dream shifts again to the night sky of the Otherworld, where you see the new moon appear, and a terrible feeling washes over you as your life fades into nothingness. You wake in a cold sweat. Well, that didn't tell me anything. It didn't tell me nothing. Oh man, that told me absolutely nothing. Alright. Thanks for nothing. Sure. So, we need an eye and a puzzle piece, and I don't think we have an eye and a puzzle piece. We do not. I mean, we technically do change one ability icon on a played card, but that means we would need to play a second card. I mean, we would have to play something, which we could do. So let's see. We play that, play that card, play the change ability card, and play... Actually, hang on. No, let's switch that, because I want her to play the eyeball. Oh, she doesn't have a single eyeball. Dang it. Alright, that's fine. Yeah. Do that. She gets to draw a card anyways. And then play the other eyeball. So that's an eyeball. We changed this. Now, here's the question. We changed her fist to an eyeball, right? Because that's what the card did. And then it says, draw an ability card whenever Maeve completes a story action with an eyeball cost. She was participating in it, and she's completing it, so I'm going to say that, yes, that still counts, because an eyeball was a cost. She gets to draw another card. All right, 31 on page 17. Just atmosphere. It's a bit like Seventh Continent with less survival. Just atmosphere. In the Fey realm, you can dance at the eyeball. Now, I do have Seventh Citadel, right? That was the second one. I do have that. The new expansion is delivering soonish, and I was waiting till that came in to start it, so I will have a 7th Citadel, again, I think is the second one, playthrough, at some point, probably as soon as that expansion comes in. I don't know if I'll get through the whole thing because people want new things. They don't want to see the same thing over and over again. All right, lying down on one of the beds, you instantly fall. Is that the one we did? Oh, here we go. Fall asleep and a vivid dream forms of a nighttime scene at the beach. There's someone standing before a large bonfire as a shadowy mist swirls above, blocking out the stars in the sky. The mist turns into a nightmarish image and lunges forward, only to be pushed back by a radiant aura around the obscured figure. So again, that's telling us about the siren song. We already knew about the siren song. We already knew about that. That didn't help us. All those cards. About a knot. Alright, so that was Will taking 2 actions, right? I'm losing track of whose turn it is. I think that was Will taking 2 actions. Alright, so we'll just say that Will took 2. I don't remember whose turn it is. We're going to go to Kaya now. So Kaya is going to go explore. No, Will rushed in here by himself. Kaya brought Maeve in. That was Maeve's turn. So technically it's Will's turn again. And you know what Will's going to do? Quest in 7th Continent can be 40 hours each. Not something you'll stream. We have an entire week for extra life. Don't tempt me, David. All right. 120. 120. All right. Whoop. I've seen people do playthroughs. You need a turn. Yeah. Here. Good point. All right. So we said this is Will's turn because he's rushing off. Thanks, David. All right. Oh, this is not going to be fun. We now have a block. We have a lock, which is we can't get back, which isn't bad because we're going to be on the beach. So this is good. This is actually probably good because it only goes to 121, and we're on 120 now. But we are currently locked. There's that bonfire. There is that bonfire. So we are currently locked into that tile. So now we know that is the maximum that it can go that way. This is the maximum it can go this way. It can go down further because there is a 6 underneath the 1. All right, what did we find? Luckily, there was no symbol. All right, Will, you didn't get in trouble this time. You walk along the shoreline as the sun's setting. You see a large fire pit. Logs have been stacked neatly in a pyre and some purpose in mind. An icy shiver runs through your entire body. You see a cloud of inky black mist streaming across the darkening sky towards your location. As it gets closer, you see 1,000 red eyes glaring down at you. So, what did that last thing tell us? It said something about the bonfire, right? It said something about the bonfire. Run away is, I'm guessing, going to unlock the thing. So what was that last thing we read? It was whatever was on here. Right? I remember the one dream said something about it. All right. It was the first dream about nightmares, I think. 31 on 17. Can you move the map half an inch to the right? Can't see the beach. Oh, really? Oh yeah, it's kind of cut off. Yeah, I'll move it. All right, so what are we looking at? 31 on 17 again. All right, 31 on 17. There's someone standing before a large bonfire, shadowy swirls, blocking stars, mist runs into a nightmarish image, only pushed back by the radiant aura. Okay, so yeah, I think we need to light the bonfire because the person's standing in front of the bonfire. So everything slide this way. Slide this way. Slide moss. Slide moss. I did not look to see what is the playtime of this thing. Again, my playtime is going longer because I have to talk about it. So it says 90 minutes. We are currently over 90 minutes. So we'll see. That means we may be at the end. We may be at the end. Like I said, rolling solo, he died in 30 minutes because Nightmare chased him down. And that was with some explanation of stuff. So we're there. We're going to have, Will is going to pass because I don't think Will can do this on his own. He needs a puzzle and 2 fight. And he does not, he can run, right? But we don't want him to run. We do have a fight, which is good. So we need to get everybody else in there because here's 2 fight. And then do we have a puzzle with those 2 fight? I'm trying to, yeah, and then we have a puzzle because we have this wild card. She has tons of cards, man. Maeve is a beast. She's just a card beast. All right, so it is Kaya's turn. If these were double-sided, I could flip them, right, when they've taken their turn. All right, so Kaya is going to carry Maeve with her. That is 1. And then she is going to do the double punch. Double Marvel United double punch. And then our... That, I shouldn't be putting them together because they have their own discard pile. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I have 3 discard piles that I'm stacking into. All right, so we've now completed that. So page 165, number 26. Or no, page 26, number 26. All right. You find a starter kit and quickly light the bonfire as the shadowed mist swirls above. The mist turns into a giant raven and lunges forward, only to be pushed back by the bright aura that suddenly surrounds you. The raven screeches in frustration before turning back into mist and evaporating into the night air. Gain Dream Ward from the boon deck. All characters on this tile may move east to 81 or south to 119. Well, we're going to 119. But what do we gain? We gain, what did it say I gain? Dream Ward. We gain Dream Ward. So, the art's beautiful. I don't know if you guys noticed that the art is beautiful because this was 2021. This was before AI art. This is beautiful art. I'll tell you that. On all the cards, I like the art. Dream Ward. I can exhaust this to discard a number of ability cards from your hand and move Nightmare an equal number of maps in any direction. Nightmare hasn't even shown up. Like, I'm running from nothing. Right? I'm running from nothing. Who got this? Oh, Kaya got it. What is Kaya? Kaya's the collector. She just collects all the stuff. All right, then we are all going to move to 119. It said I unlocked this also. There we go. So we're going to go down to 119 because that's the direction we're heading. I guess it's like if you came up this way, then it's locking you from getting over here. But we came in that way, so kind of worked out for us. All right. So, and we have a battle. Battle. So, let's read 119. All right. You journey along a sandy beach, you take off your shoes and let the sand squish between your toes and waves lap at your ankles. Of a cliff looms above you. Oh, what did we finish? We finished 2 here. I think the runaway is probably just going to unlock as well, so I don't think we need to go back there. Looking up, you can see a lighthouse at the top. So there's a lighthouse here. Search the area. Requires 1 eyeball. But we do have to do a foe, and we are all chilling there with the foe. With William Dafoe. Red caps. We need 1 fist to defeat. Move Nightmare, but he's not even here. So we just need a fist to defeat. It is Kaya's. She's only got 2 cards. She's definitely not punching. We're going to... Let's have Miss... I have 5,000 cards punch. There you go. Stand tall. So, you are gone. And that's the other thing. I keep doing this, and it keeps shuffling, right? It keeps shuffling the deck. So, like, everybody that I pull, I have no clue where Nightmare's going. He could be going right back to the bottom every time. So, yeah. So 1 was moving her in. 2 was doing that. We got to move here for 3, so she technically has 1 more move. So, we're going to... Should we have Miss Cards do it? No, let's have Will is going to do his eyeball, which lets him draw a card. And we get to go to 111. You scan the sandy beach, taking note of the rocky path up the cliff. This is a large fire pit on the beach just north of you. Far to the south, you make out colorful coral reef. Well, again, that was a waste of a card because I kind of assumed that's the direction we needed to go. Now, the problem is we have to come back through here to get back up here. So, yeah, we kind of have to go back up through that because we can't come up this way, this way, or this way. So we're going to have to do another foe at some point. All right. That's what I assumed happened. So, whoop. All right. Maeve is, well, she's going to have to go exploring on her own. The question is, do we think the lighthouse is going to help us? Do we think the lighthouse will give us something that'll help us with the sirens, right? Because they say the sirens brought people to their death. I think we do. I think we go check out the lighthouse. She's got lots of cards. We're going to go to 80. Because she has lots of cards. If she didn't have lots of cards, I wouldn't send her up there. I think I would have just kept going south. All right. 80. All right. Nothing bad. Although we can't go to 49, so technically we can come... Well, no, this is going to end. This is going to be a blocked off. Because this is the top of the mountain. Where's 80? 8. Lighthouse stands atop the cliff overlooking the sea to the west. The two-story conical building is made of mostly stone. It seems to be a drafty and lonesome place, but the fire is lit atop to guide ships away from this rocky shore. You can hear voices coming from inside. They seem to be singing sea shanties. Join the singing or search the area. Well, let's see what she can do. So that was 1. Well, we can search the area because she has a double eyeball, and because we do an action with a double eyeball, she draws a card. Yay! So, number 26. Page 26, sorry. 157. You climb a set of outdoor stairs to the very top of the lighthouse and scan the surrounding area. From your vantage point, you see a figure hidden among the rocks by the path on the beach. If you head down there, you should prepare for a fight. Huh? Okay. I mean, I don't know if it's talking about this or when we get down to 118. I mean, yes, that's bad. Oh, I guess because you could have came in this way. So it's kind of giving you information that there would have been a fight there. Well, again, a waste of an action. Waste of an action. All right, so a talk and a puzzle. Does she have a talk and a puzzle? She does not. Although I do have the change an ability icon on one played card. But again, she doesn't have a talk or a puzzle, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So she's going to pass. I only have 3 cards. And I don't have a talk or a puzzle. And she only has 2 cards. So we are not doing that. So she's not going to pass yet. She's going to come back down. So 1 was come up. 2 was do that. 3, she's coming back down. Right. Will, in his rambunctious self, is going to run off by himself as he always does. So, 118. Good old Will. Let's go. Get us in trouble, Will. That's what you do. That's what you do best. By the way, I'm playing with Will just because that's my name. It's like, if you couldn't understand why I picked Will, that's all. Oh, this looks like a lagoon with a siren. We were looking for the sirens. I feel like this might not be good. I feel like we're going to have to fight. All right, where are we at? 118. 118. All right. Oh, you got to be kidding me. So to do either one of these, we need an item that we don't have. As you near the stone walls of the secluded cove, a melodic voice can be heard singing from within. It is a whimsical tune, and the entrancing music draws you into the water. You quickly cover your ears to muffle the noise before deciding what to do next. So we can't even do this because we need the harp for a music contest, or we can fight, but we need water gills. And we have not heard anything about a harp or water gills. So, I would assume you get water gills near water? Yeah, we haven't heard anything about water gills. More exploring. Yeah, more exploring. All right. All right. So Will's going to go off and be dangerous again. So he's going to 117 by himself. 117. No, that wasn't nothing bad there. But it's a lot of water. Hope Will can swim. 117. Swimming by large rocks jutting out of the water, you notice a shadow underneath the waves. Diving below, you see a shipwreck in the bottom of the sea. Remembered stories of pirates and hidden treasure fill your excitement, but also a hint of caution. Requires water gills. All right. So now we have two options, though. We can go 78 or 16. 116 has these, looks like coral down here as well. Why not? Come on, Will. You've done it twice now. Let's one more for the show. Third time's a charm. 116. 116. And it can go further south than that. Oh, there's a statue. Ooh, there's a statue. All right. 116 for Will. That's his third, that's his final. So he can't do anything else after this. You discover a placid lagoon encircled by a sandbar and a colorful reef wall. Looking north, you see a rocky outcrop which forms a small jetty. At the center of the lagoon is a magnificent statue with the head of a trident visible just above the surface of the azure water. Gain the blessing of the sea. Hey! But guess what? We need puzzle pieces. We don't have puzzle pieces. I can change one ability to a puzzle piece. We don't have any rest. So I don't even think I can do this. I can cancel effects. I can draw a card. I could play this just to draw a card and hope we get two puzzle pieces. Or do we even have any eyes though? We have eyes. It'd be a double eye. I think I have to do that though, because I think that's where probably the gills. The blessing probably gives us the gills. So, all right. So Will's done. So Kaya's going to go. Kaya, we're going to play this card just for the draw action. And we got communication, which does not help us. What is this? I can use this for one puzzle piece. So I forgot I have this. So I can use this for one puzzle piece. And then I can change another with the other puzzle piece. So when I do who had the double eye? When I do her double eye, I can change one of those to the other puzzle piece. Okay, we're good now. All right, so that was, so she's gonna go move 1, move 2, move 3. All right, and you go to Maeve. So Maeve, so we're going to exhaust this. Exhausted. And then we are going to play the double eye. We're going to play the discard this card. No. Where's the change the thing? Oh, here we go. Then she's going to play the change the thing to a puzzle piece, and we did that for the last puzzle piece. Good. There's more water right under your hands. Yes. There's more water here. And there's like a swamp under that. So yeah, it goes down for a while. I don't know how far down it can actually go. I'd have to look at 115 to find that out. But we solved this, and that's what I was trying to do. And it may have been a futile effort, but we will find out. 23, 120. You swim in a lagoon, examine the statue. Faded inscriptions on the trident commemorate the old god of the sea by his son, Menanan. Diving beneath the surface, you find a twisted conch sail held in his left hand. You pry it loose and blow on it. The roar of the wave fills your ears, and you discover that you can now swim like a fish. Gain water gills. Yay! Yay, water gills. Yay, water gills. Who's gaining them? Oh, somebody other than Kaya is gaining the water gills this time. Kaya was gaining everything there. Where's the water gills? Did I pass it? Water gills. There we go. So, I meant near the start, 2 tiles to the left of Will's character card. Oh, here. Yeah, I think that's probably a lake, and it probably connects all the way down. Most likely. Most likely. All right, so let's slide that over, slide you over, bring you in. Traveling with you. Okay, all traveling with you can now move underwater. We can tap this to draw an ability card from the deck if you traveled over one or more map tiles with water. Okay. She's down to 3, so she doesn't need that yet. 3, 3. Kaya's the one at risk because she's only got 2. So that was her first action, was doing that. We accomplished that. So 1, 2, 3. So that's her 3. All right, so Will's turn. We have our gills now, so we go back to 117. Now, no, hang on, we got our gills. We should probably explore the shipwreck first. Let's see if we can do that, though, before I make that decision. No, we cannot. We cannot explore the shipwreck. Sorry, shipwreck. Shipwreck was, I was thinking yeah, back to the science. I was thinking the shipwreck might have the harp. And I'm thinking that might be a better outcome, but we don't have the symbols to do it, so we're not going to do it. Instead, we're going to do 118. I'm looking at the 117 there instead of the 118 in the circle. Like, where's my mermaid? The siren. As you near the stone walls of a secluded cove, well, we already talked about that. We just want to do this. That's what we want to do. All right, so we need 2 fists. Which we have 2 fists. Fists of Fury! Actually, both of them needed 2 fists, so technically, I don't know why you would do one versus the other. I guess it depends where you actually get that harp. If you get the harp and you need the water gills to get the harp, then that's kind of stupid. So, page 27, 181. Dive underwater and swim through a narrow passage to enter the cove. Upon reaching the surface, you find a siren lounging on a large rock. She looks at you with mild amusement as you introduce yourself and laughs when you challenge her to a fight. The siren accepts your terms and sings a hauntingly beautiful song, twinged with sad notes. Twinged with sad notes. Not twinged, twinged. She's a southern singer, so she's got some twang. You struggle to resist her alluring voice. You hold yourself still and you fight the urge to go any closer. When she sees you're able to resist her, she stops singing and begs you to forgive her. As a token of remorse, she gives you a gift. Gain Siren's Song. Oh, buddy. We might be able to do this. I don't know. We may get home. We have not found a single story thing yet, and Nightmare is still not playing with us. So now everybody has a... Wow, we don't have many cards left. We have 3 cards left in our deck. Whew. All right. You're immune to the effects of Bane cards. Well, that's good. For Will. For Will. All right, so that was Will's first action, right? He was doing that. So second action, we're going to move here, which means we do have to do a faux deck. Pomorian Stalkers. We need a fight or 2 run to defeat and move Nightmare, but again, Nightmare's not here. We do have our double move, so we're just going to do that, and he's defeated. We ran away. Ran away. Yep, up to our trees. We need to get up to there. Number 1. That is where I think we need to be. Maybe. Maybe not. That's what needed the siren song, right? We'll read the story. Let me read that, reread that one to make sure that's where it said we needed the siren song. So that was... 1 was doing that, 2 was doing that. 3, we go here. 3 were there. All right. So that was 50. No, 83. 83. Let's double check, because I think that's the one you're right. It said that there was something about the siren song. 83? 83. All right. Number 1. So page 18, number 46. All right. Number 46. Hollow trees, suffer nightmares, southern mind, learn so far. Okay, yeah. That the enchanting song of the siren may be able to lift the curse. Oh, but these ones didn't need the siren song. Which one needed the siren song? So it wasn't 83, because it actually said siren song down here. So maybe 84. Like I said, I think it was 84 that needed the siren song. Because we weren't able to do anything. Yeah, it's 84. So 84 is right. So it was northwest of this location. His was northeast of that location. So that makes sense. All right, so we need to go to 84. So that was Will's third action. So now we're going to do Kaya. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then 12. Because we have Kaya with us, we don't have to worry about the Fey effect. We do go in here, and this is the bad thing. Because we went in here, we all have to take a... Hang on, before we all go in there. Before we all go in there. Now, Will can go in there because he's immune. But we need 2 punch and 2 talk. This ability card has a punch equal to the number of other ability cards you choose to play. So this would give us our 2 punch. She would be out of cards. We lose the game. Not good. Will has a punch, which would give us our 2 punch, but we don't have 2 talk. He has 1 talk. She has 1 talk. So we have 1 talk, 2 talk. Let's do the water gills. We should have done the water gills back here. We would have exhausted the water gills. Is that as an exhaust token? Yeah. Exhaust token. And this would have allowed her to draw an ability card if we traveled through 1 or more map areas with water, which we did. Which, again, doesn't help us. Oh, well, no, it does, because now I can do both of these. So that gives me punch. It gives us our 2 punches. And then we have our 2 talks. So everybody has to go. In order to complete this, everybody's going to have to go. So we're all going to move. We're all moving. That's a lot of Banes. All right, so Maeve's Bane, move Nightmare, discard this card. Okay. My Nightmare's not on the board. Reduce your hand size by 1. Discard a card if you're full. And she's not. So that was Will's, and honestly, Will doesn't have to do it. So we'll just discard that. He's not affected by Banes. Good old Kaya, who already has a Bane. Dread. Add 1 fight to the cost of your next story action. Discard this card when the action is complete. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Hang on. That this isn't her story action. This is Maeve's story action, right? Because these are per person. The Dread is the Banes are per person. It's not, these aren't for the whole group. Banes and Boons, I think, and that's why I've been playing it, because that's what I thought I read. So Bane card is negative status that will hinder your actions. A player will need to draw a Bane card if the tile that says the icon or an encounter. Yeah. Yep. And then Boon cards, for whatever reason, they have that in a completely different section than the Boon section. Activate a Boon card. Yeah, so you just activate it. All right. Yeah, so each person has their own stuff, right? Because you're each individual. Speak softly and punch with a big punch. Well, that's... So yeah, this is not her action. This is Maeve's action to do this. So we're not going to need that extra punch. So to do that, we need these 2. That's 2 punches. And she still has 1 card, so we have not died. And then we need 2 speech bubbles. We have 2 speech bubbles. So we are technically... This will be the game. If this is not the right way home, this is game, because we can't complete anything else unless we find somewhere to rest. And you can't rest in a spot more than once because it's a story action, and you can only complete each story action once. All right, guys, here we go. 65, page 19. Okay. 65. With trembling hands, you take out the siren's song sheet and begin to sing. The music starts with a somber tone, but quickly builds in strength. Your hands cease to shake. A powerful wave of emotion washes over you, followed by a steely resolve that settles deep in your bones. You step forward towards a tree. Your words pierce through the nightmares. As the song reaches a crescendo, the dark aura quivers and then evaporates. Replace map tile 84 with map tile 84A, then read from 84A page 124. All right, so hang on. So that's where I said that there were some red cards. So 84A was a red card. So is 101A. Well, there's a lot of them that are red cards. All right, 84A. All right. So, get off that tile, everybody. Oh. Okay. Said read from, what are we doing? 84A on page 124 in the storybook. Oh, okay. So we got to go to page 124 in this book. Yeah, 124. All right. With the curse lifted, the appearance of the Hollow's tree rapidly shifts before your eyes. Its leaves turn to a deep emerald green, and the trunk now has a healthy golden brown color. Open the gateway. Read page 5 or read number 5 on page 15. There's no action symbols here, so this must be it. All right, where are we at? Number 5 on page 15. Number 5. All right, where are we at? A procession of Sid heads to her way. At the front of the group is Titania, the Summoner Queen. You have proven yourself a true friend of the Summoner Court, she says. Her melodic voice echoes through the forest as she congratulates you. With Morrigan's curse lifted, I can open a gateway back to your home. Though, there is at least one favor I must ask of you. The siren's song can counter Morrigan's organ of despair. Will you give it to me? Her regal tone is less of a request than a command, but you feel Titania has put it to good use against your common enemy. You hand it over. Titania nods at you in thanks and says, with this song notes, we will aid your people when Morgan invades and secure a place for ourselves afterwards. The Summoner Queen says the last part in a mournful tone, but before you can question her, she motions for you to enter the hollow tree. Once inside, a tear of light appears and slowly rotates open. You step through it. Discard Siren's Song. All right. Gain plot token 6. How do I know the difference between 6 and 9? Well, you geniuses. Which one's the 6 and which one's the 9? Gotta love it. I don't think it really matters. Yeah. How hard would that have been to do? Crazy people. 6. All right. All characters on this map tile open a gateway home. Read home on page 130 of the storybook. All right. Okay. Now we're going back here. So we did make it home, but that was not good. She said basically they're going to invade. So I'm wondering, and this is why there's more than one story, right? If we went to the other guys, which is the same thing Distant Skies does, right? You can choose 2 different teams in Distant Skies if you haven't played it. And you can select, and based on who you choose, your loyalty goes one way or the other. I feel like this is probably the same. If we were to go the other direction, then we would probably, we were being kidnapped maybe to help them, right? Because maybe we have some kind of power. I don't know. Okay. From map tiles 36, 56A, 79, 84A, 101, 101A, and 112. Okay, so if you're on any of these tiles at the end of the game, then this is going to tell you to read this. So David, you were asking earlier about how many different endings. It seems like there are a couple, and this is one that'll happen on these particular tiles. Oh, I need a drink before I go and read more. That's a lot to read. All right. There we go. Stepping through the gateway, you feel everything shift and contort. A blinding light flashes, and then you're plunged into darkness. You blink as your eyes slowly adjust to focus on the inside of a tree trunk. Still dazed, you feel your way at the opening. You exit the Hollow's tree, deep within the evergreen forest. Patches of melting snow crunch beneath your feet as you continuously look around. It is nighttime, but your soft glow of light on the horizon suggests the dawn will soon arrive. You gaze up and breathe a sigh of relief. There are familiar constellations in the starry skies. Take some time to navigate out of the woods, find a settlement, and begin to walk home. During your journey, you learn that a full season has passed since you were taken last autumn, and you returned in the wake of a Fey invasion. All the kingdoms were nearly conquered. Fortunately, a band of heroes found a way to defeat the unseelie queen, Morgan. Most people you meet assure you that she has perished in the final battle, although some people say Morgan was captured and turned into a crow. In the aftermath, many of the Fey who crossed over to your world remained in the Four Kingdoms.
They have found refuge in the wilds, as they are not welcomed by those they attack. With each retelling of the Fae invasion, you realize more and more you should keep your own story secret, for now. A growing sense of dread builds as you finally reach the entrance of your home. It is the dawning realization that you can never return to a normal life. Touched by the magic of the Fae, you experience in the other world has forever changed you. Will the people you care about accept you anymore? Stealing yourself, you walk up to the front door and open it. I guess that's it for that. And then it says we're supposed to read 6. So where is 6 that we're supposed to read? So I don't know where 6. I don't know if 6 is in here or where. Okay. If you lose the game now. Whether you escape, trapped again. Placing a loop of continuous exploration, you're forever changed. Once you return the Four Kingdoms, there will be no truly happy ending if what you have discovered here is true. Here ends the rulebook portion. Opens a gateway, players win the game. If you win, you'll be told to turn to a particular page in the storybook detail the end. In addition to the ending, players who acquired numbered plot tokens may read from the matching story endings to find out more about the fate of the Four Kingdoms and Otherworld. We recommend you do not read the other story endings until you have found them playing the game during another adventure. So, we got number 6. So where do we find number 6? Here you go. Plot tokens 1 through 12. Okay. And then it's got different pages. All right. So we're going to go to number 6. 6. Yeah. A request. Gave Siren Song. So again, it confirms before you go into it. That's really nice. It confirms that. That way you aren't reading something you shouldn't read. You arrive at the Spiral Tower and show the invitation sent by the White Rose. The guards hurry you into a secluded room with a smooth marble bed. A half moon and twinkly stars decorate the ceiling. You've been told this is where the seers can gain visions through dreams. Some can even connect with the Otherworld. It is that last piece of information that raises your suspicion as to why you've been summoned. You instinctively clutch the harp on your side. With a sigh, you lie on the cool surface of the bed and fall in deep sleep. So here's a problem. It talks about the harp and we didn't have the harp, so that's kind of... It feels like a moment has passed. Before you open your eyes, you find yourself in the throne room of the castle resting in the boughs of the gigantic tree. The serene form of Titania sits patiently at her throne, her face framed by golden hair. Titania catches your gaze and says in a melodic voice, "It is good to see you again. Forgive the secrecy, but I asked my allies to be discreet." "Why did you want to meet with me?" you ask. "Does this have something to do with the Siren Song? I've been told Morgan's invasion has been defeated before I returned home." "Time can pass differently between our worlds," she replied with a wry smile. "Not long after you entered the gateway, we made contact with champions from your realm and gave the notes of the Siren Song. The magic in those notes granted your people the courage to resist Morgan's power and was your action that turned the tide of the war." Your eyes widen in surprise as Titania stands from her throne. She walks toward you and says, "My people will soon need to take refuge in your world. Our world is dying. We will not be welcome unless you and others speak on our behalf. Please will you help us?" You consider a request for a time, finally whisper, "I can try, but I don't know if anyone will listen to me." The Siren Song appears in her hands. With the hopeful look, Titania offers it to you and says, "Tell them your story and our part in it. People will listen." Her last words echo in your mind. As your eyes flutter open, you find yourself back in the room, lying in the marble bed. The Siren Song is resting on your side. So, maybe. Yeah, could be. Yeah, I guess we could thematically say that, David. She gave us the harp. So this sounds like this is the good ending. This sounds like it's probably the best ending you can have. I don't know. Now, we don't know anything beyond this. Like, did it work? Does the story work? Because there's more of these tokens. So there's 12 of these tokens total. I don't know how you get them. I guess throughout the journey, you will find all 12 tokens. Yeah, so there's 12 endings. This one's called The End. So yeah. So David, you were asking how many? I guess there's 12 different plot point endings that can be obtained through the different tokens that you acquire. And then based on how you exit, there's probably a couple different stories there. Or there might only be 2. I think there might only be 2 because there's 129 if you lose, and then it said 130. Yeah, 129 lost the game, 130 you win the game, and then there's 12 different stories. Yeah. Yeah, for each plot token you found additional epilogues explain how those actions and decisions affects your story's ending. Okay. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do first impressions. Maybe if I can find what I'm supposed to be clicking on here, guys. Where am I going to click on there? Holy cow, that was just jeez. All right, so first impressions. I actually like this. I thought it was a fun little story game. I do have my gripes about some of the stuff, just because I have gripes all the time. Good game, yeah, David. It's fun, and it's got a pretty bad rating because I think people were expecting maybe to have more, maybe mitigation. Maybe people were playing true solo instead of three-handed. I really feel like three-handed is the best way. Alex Radcliffe kind of said the same thing. He really enjoyed it. He just said you need to play multi-hand solo, and he liked it better solo than co-op. So maybe people were playing it co-op, and it just doesn't work as well. Here it was basically like I had 15 cards at a time. Either way, components. The components are okay for what they are. Again, the standees. These are just a little bit too big. Even if I had him standing up on the card, right? If I had him standing up on the card, like that's still just too big for the card. I get that they have them. I don't know how big the miniatures are, but if the miniatures are normal size miniatures, that's gonna be too big. If they're the size of the miniatures in like Destinies, that would be fine. So I can't speak to that. The tokens serve their purpose. The story is easy to find what you're needing to find. There's good iconography, kind of directions and all that stuff. I didn't have much trouble there. I, again, wish there was a player aid. I wish there was something that kind of gave more explanation on some of the intricacies, because each one of them is just really written as like a single paragraph in a random spot in the rulebook. So really the rulebook could do a full overhaul and refresh. But that's a nitpick. I was able to get through it and figure it out. There were a couple other, like, I think small rules things I did, but otherwise, I mean, the components serve their purpose. Now, the one thing I did want to mention, just because I did, this box is way too big for its content. This, unfortunately, provides a bad context of what you're getting. You're getting a decent game. You're getting a pretty big game. It is maybe limited on replays, but again, they say you're supposed to remember what you did. But that insert is way too big. Like it's got in the insert, it's got spots where you can put the minis with the base laying down in there. And then there's nothing else in that well. It's just a single mini with a base. It's like way too big, way too big. They could have made that smaller. But either way, components otherwise are pretty good. Mechanics. So it's a very neat resource management, right? You have these cards, and one of the loss conditions is if any player runs out of these cards, you have to manage when you're going to use these cards and when you're not. I was able to take 2 rest actions. I don't know if that's common. I don't know how many different locations have a rest action available. So if I wouldn't have taken those rest actions when I was at 4 cards or 3 cards, would I have made it as far as I did? I don't know, right? That's part of the game, part of the puzzle solving. So again, maybe the people that were giving it bad ratings didn't come into it like I read all the bad ratings because I'm like, okay, I want to know what I'm getting into. But like the things they were complaining about, at least for me, didn't happen in this playthrough. Now, again, this also lots of randomness, right? This deck is random. The boons are random, right? Your cards that you're going to draw are random. The map, though, is the same every single game. So the more times you play, the more likely you are to get that good victory. You also are going to learn, like, okay, what do I need to do in what spots? You would know if you took notes. For example, there was no reason for me to go up to the lighthouse and do the investigation because I already knew that I was going to have to fight down on the beach because that had already happened, right? So you would note those things. Okay, hey, this is going to have to fight. This is going to have to do that, right? You would have that foregone knowledge. And the game says that, right? You were stuck in a perpetual loop. So that kind of goes into the thematicness. You're going to keep replaying this. I think all the mechanics work very well together. I think anybody who wants a good little story adventure, David said, choose your own adventure type thing that has some card play. This is definitely a game that will hit that spot. For the foe deck, and this was the only thing I never got. There he is. There's Nightmare. So Nightmare was all the way on the bottom again. So he was the third card down, and there's only one of them. So you may not even, in like my gameplay, I didn't even get Nightmare. So again, that's that randomness. That may not happen because it says he only comes out if he comes from the foe deck, if a story event tells you to bring him out. I didn't have a story deck telling me that. Or if you go onto a space with his symbol. And again, I did not go onto a space with his symbol. I lucked out and didn't meet Nightmare. Is that bad mechanics? No. But if I want to experience the other story pieces, that mechanic will get added in. And it adds that extra tension, right? Because you're trying to stay away from it. So again, I think the mechanics and everything works good together. I don't know if I technically had any complaint. I mean, yes, I would have preferred to be able to draw more. I would like to have not gotten down to one card each on my very last turn. But again, it was kind of exciting to be down to my last 3 cards and figure out how am I going to solve that and still win the game, because I didn't want to run out of cards. Difficulty, it's easy. It was a simple game. You're walking around, you're trying to solve things, you just play the cards to make them work. There's a little bit of puzzling it out and figuring out what's going to be your best action and best move, but overall, it doesn't seem too difficult. Fun at 2, don't know, didn't play it at 2. I think 2 might still be an okay spot. Maybe at 2 you could do 4 players. You could do two characters each. I wouldn't say run each character one at a time. Like I said, I think 3. This felt like a good sweet spot. So that'd be for each person to try on their own. The last is the theme. So I know nothing about this world. Like I said, it is based on their other game, which I do have their other game. If you guys want to see me play that, I'll wash the minis, and then yay, whoever gets this from Extra Life as a donation will have washed minis. But I do have Of Dreams and Shadows, which is, I'm guessing, the prequel. I'm guessing, because this is the game that started it all. So I'm guessing this is the prequel. Maybe this is the world we're from. I don't know. I don't know the story. But I liked the story. The story was fun. It was fun reading, going through the beats, learning things about it. And it helped you make the decisions of where all you wanted to go. There was that one little thing at the end. David said, okay, the queen gave me the harp. But you can't plan for every action in a regular storybook. It's why I said I think a digital implementation add-on to this, if they did a revised edition of this, cleaned up some of the people's complaints and added some more things to it and made a digital app that tracks your progress and different things like that, so you could like read what all you've done in your past dreams, and then it would also know what you did, like which story tokens you did, what items you found, because then it could customize that story for you based on what you did and didn't have. And that's always a downside of a story narrative game. It might say something that didn't technically happen to you in your playthrough. Does that ruin the theme overall? No, it was still fun. Like I said, I said at the beginning, I had fun. Right now, yeah, I would probably rate this a good 7 or 8, easily, which I've got to go do once I'm done this and log my play. Will it make a top game of new to me for next year? Don't know. We'll find out next year when I have to rate all my games. But either way, guys, if you want to get this game is currently up for quote free by donating to Extra Life charities. There is a link down below in my link tree, a button to click to go to Extra Life. Choose the medium pledge, the medium box option, and this game can be yours. Or do the mix and match. We already had one person do mix and match. They picked up medium games, a couple of prototypes, I think a couple small box games. And that's going out in the mail tomorrow, the next day of the weekend, whenever I drive to UPS, basically. Either way, guys, do you play the prequel? That's the question. Do I play the prequel, David? I don't know where it's sitting right now. I do have it. I've got the prequel. I would have to wash the minis. I will not play the minis unpainted, so they at least need to be washed. But I tell you what, if people in the comments say play the prequel, then I will bring the prequel to the channel, because again, that is another one that is on the charity. So it'd be nice that, you know, if people want to know how it plays, then yeah, I'm willing to play every game that I'm putting up in the calling list that I haven't played at least. So there we go, guys. I appreciate everybody coming out. David hanging out in the chat. There's a couple other people out there just, I guess, hanging out. Hi, I see you. Either way, guys, I will be back on washing should be quick. Yeah, doing a wash will be real quick. I will be back tomorrow afternoon, right? Tomorrow afternoon for Tiwanaku. So if you like what I did with the Core of Discovery, Tiwanaku is similar deduction, but totally different gameplay. And then Friday will be the last DC United Hush. And in the evening, I'll be painting minis for charity. So I've got some minis that I have been holding off way too long to paint. And until I get them painted, there's the unfortunate. Until I get them painted, I'm not going to paint any Marvel United minis, which means I can't do any more Marvel United gameplays. So there'll just be other stuff on the channel to them. Either way, till next time, guys. Peace.